notes. So basically we want to share some great strategies that you can learn at Noteworthy, February 27th through the 29th. So I hope you'll come scope us out. It will be worth the trip because what we're going to teach you today is just one thing that we'll be covering. So we're going to be talking about owner financing, raising private money, syndication, how to do all of these things legally. We're going to be doing panel discussions with actual note investors that are doing this every single day. So if you're looking to get involved with it, you can really learn the business from the inside out, which is exactly how I learned it. So I went to Noteworthy convention about 4 years ago, and this is where I learned how to do all of this. So I was actually a vendor at that time, and then I would go, while everybody was in class learning, I would go sit in the back of the class and just take massive amounts of notes. All the other vendors were there checking Facebook, and I was taking action. So if you want to learn this stuff, what I'm about to show you, you can go to NoteWorthySummit.com/tickets. I've got the link right in the description there if you're on Facebook Live. If you're on Instagram, it's just NoteWorthySummit.com/tickets. The link is actually in my profile. So we'll be talking about non-performing notes, performing notes, partials, which is a little bit about what I'm going to teach you today. All right, so let's just get into it real quick. So I want to show you guys how we buy a deal and then take it on an owner financing. All right, so basically what we're going to do, I'm just going to give you an example here. So if we buy a property, let's say for $10,000, we can take that property to the marketplace in most markets and sell it for 2.5 to 3 times what we bought it for. All right, so it gets very difficult to do that when you are talking about like a $50,000 property or a $100,000 property. You have to steal those deals in order to be able to do 2.5 to 3 times the acquisition price on a note. But this is something that we do every single day. So if we buy an REO, a distressed REO from a bank, we'll pick up the property, let's say for $10,000, just use a round number. And then what we're going to do is we're going to offer that property for sale for $30,000. And typically what we're going to look for is a 10% down payment. So almost immediately, we've got $3,000 coming back into the game, right? So, and then what we'll do is we'll typically structure, I think our average is about 7 years, but let's say it's 10 years, again, just to use round numbers. So we'll do a 10-year note, and it'll be $353 a month, I think is what the number is. All right. So automatically, right from the get-go, we've got a 60% ROI, which is pretty awesome, right? So we can keep that note as it is for the entirety of the 10 years, and that's what we can expect to make on our money. So let's get a little bit more advanced. We can do some more creative things with this note as we go forward, right? So let's say, for instance, that after 12 months, I've collected $4,056 plus my $3,000 down payment. So I've got $7,056. All right. So I'm almost in this note for free at this point, right? So $3,000 more, I own this thing free and clear. All right. So let's assume that the note has performed nicely over this 12 months. We've underwritten the buyer carefully. We've done all of our due diligence on them, checked their employment, checked their income, all that good stuff. So now I have an asset, a piece of paper, for lack of a better word, that I can sell. All right? And I can sell that in a couple of different ways, which is what makes this business really get fun. Okay? So I can sell that note, the entirety of it. And let's say I could get anywhere from 60 to 90 cents of the unpaid balance. All right? So let's just use 70% as a benchmark. So that would be after a year's worth of payments and my down payment, I'd have about $17,928. Plus, I had this, right? So I had the $7,056. So now I've made almost 25K. It cost me 10 grand initially. So after 12 months, I've turned $10,000 into 25,000. That's the power of notes. It's a beautiful thing. Now, it can get even more interesting here. So the next piece I could do, if I don't want to sell the whole note, I can sell a partial. So a partial is when I'm going to sell payments on that note. So I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to forego payments for a certain period of time. Now, selling a partial is ideal for somebody that has money sitting in an IRA and they're looking for alternatives to the stock market, mutual funds, things like that. They're just saying, hey, you know what? If I could get an 8% return on my investment for a few years, I'll be very, very satisfied with that. All right. So let's say I sell 5 years worth of payments for 14K. All right. Somebody says to me, I want an 8% yield. That's about right. All right. So 5 years of payments of $353 a month, and if they buy it from me for $14,000, that's going to get them an 8% yield. All right. Now, remember, first year I still made this, right? So I still got 7,056. So now I've made 21,056. That seems interesting too, right? But here's what's even more interesting. After 5 years, my payments pick back up for another 4 years. So that's just going to be additional profit for me, right? So I'm deferring my payments until later down the road. So this is just a quick example of some of the stuff that you can learn at Noteworthy. These are things that I learned. I had no idea that this kind of business even existed. So if you look at banks, this is all they do. They take your money, they put it out on the street, they get a return, they get payments on that money, and then they feed you a minuscule interest rate, which is, putting it gently, today. So basically, if your money is sitting in the bank, it's actually costing you money by the time you factor in inflation and taxes. So if you're looking for alternatives, this is a way that you can put your money to work for you. So if you're interested in buying partial notes, come to Noteworthy. If you're interested in creating notes, come to Noteworthy. This is where I learned all of this stuff. All right. So hit the website, noteworthysummit.com/tickets. If you're interested in coming, send me a DM. I'll hook you up with an awesome promo code. Would love to see you out there, but it's basically 2.5 days of just straight education. It's not a pitch fest. We're not there to sell you a bunch of products. There's no running to the back of the room to get this deal. This is just straight, this is how you can build a business in notes. These are the systems you need in place. This is the marketing you need to do. This is everything. And everything that I learned just by going to these events. I never bought anything from Noteworthy. The only thing I ever bought was a table to be a vendor there. That's it. And this is where I learned all of this stuff. So it's the entire reason I joined the organization is because they give, and they don't take. Right? So they're just looking, and the power of the networking that comes along at these events is incredible. We've raised millions of dollars just by going to Noteworthy. So the connections that we've made over the last 3.5 years, 3.5 to 4 years, helped me go from being an investor that owned 6 rental properties to over the last 2 years doing over 400 deals. So it's legit. Like, it works if you work it. So don't look for some, magic pie in the sky. This is like specific strategies that you can use, that anybody can use. And by the way, we did all of this with none of our own money. All right, this was all raised with private money. So all the notes that we've created, like examples like this that I'm showing you, it's all profit. So if you want to learn about this stuff, NoteWorthySummit.com. We'll hope you see you there.